Hello, everybody. Welcome in. We are going to be talking about the Rick Chow trial again today. We stopped just before the first officer testifying, who was the first officer on the scene testified. So we're going to get back into that today. Hopefully one of my attorney friends will join us, but if not, we're observing this from the perspective of what the jury is seeing. Hi, Teddy. How are you, babe? We'll be observing this from the perspective of the jury because I need to know in my heart how they got to this decision. We're about to get back into the first deputy on scene talking to Rick Chow. So here we go. Oh, Teddy, my day was great. I hope your day was great as well. All right. If you can tap and send your heart me's, it helps so much. And feel free to ask questions in the chat, and I will try to get to those as I can. Thanks so much.
You want my statement now? I didn't tell you what happened. Yes, sir. That's not what he shoplifted in my store. Okay. I said my home. I followed him out. I followed him. On the way down here, he told me to drop at the store. I think it's a train or something. I think he probably did.
TikTok, we're literally watching a trial. Fuck off with your dog shit. My assumption here is that there's something that there's being objected to because they keep muting that. Thank you, Teddy. You're the best.
As far as you know, were you the first one to speak with Rick Chow as far as law enforcement is concerned?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I noticed there was some confusion. At first, whenever you find the gun, when you first arrive there, you seize that weapon.
Correct.
Okay, and then you find the casing, and there's some confusion because you say, you know, this
The
gun.
calibers.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You had not yet seized the gun off of Rick Chow at that point?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay. Let me show you states 32. Is this just kind of a screenshot from your, this has already been admitted evidence, screenshot of your body camera?
Yes, sir. That's when I originally went on scene.
It does this. They mute the objection, so I have no idea what they're saying. They're doing a sidebar. Let's see what we got. This is our defendant, Rick Chow.
Stage 32, please.
Here we go.
All right, this is a screenshot right from your body cam that you've already introduced.
Yes, sir.
This right here, that's going to be the 9mm that you collected initially?
Yes, sir.
No, I just want to give a great latitude, knowledge that can lead, understand that the state has a right to establish this, but the witness can come down and give him the stick, and he can not just, I'm concerned about relaxing into the, most of this has been foundational thus far.
We're just trying to move it along. You already,
I'll overrule the objection. I understand, Rule 611 does allow limited leave to develop this stuff.
okay. Well, we watched the body cam earlier, right?
We did.
We saw you collect everything. And let me just ask you, what is this black item here?
A firearms pistol.
Davo, what are you on in
We
these
see that
comments?
go in your body cam.
When I first arrived on scene,
Okay, and what did you do with that black object?
cleared it, rendered it safe.
Okay.
Placed it in the back of my trunk.
This is stage number 11. You recognize this?
I do.
Okay, what is that?
The firearm. That's in this picture right here.
Now, the state offer stage number 11 for admission of evidence.
Fair enough, Davo.
Since
No objection on it, because that's not a gun locker or anything like that, so the court's submitted. Just for safety.
So it'll be admitted as states 11.
And if I may ask, who do I address with the defense for this witness? That, okay.
Oh my God, how many fucking sidebars do we need? Jesus Christ. Okay, we're back. Sorry, court and trials don't often go the way that you want them to go. They're not as quick and as clean as they make them look on TV. So there's a lot of sidebars and things that take place. Probably, Davo.
Okay, we talked about the 9mm, and that was number 11. You took it back to the car and secured it.
Yes, sir.
Saw in the video a tack light.
Correct.
Okay, let me show you states number 6. Tell me if you recognize this.
Well,
Yes, just look at it and see if you recognize it.
I do. That's what I found on the ground.
Okay. Stephanie, would you put up states 35? He had identified Belmont for states number 6 for this one. 6.
objection? No. All right, we can just take 6 without objection.
All right, in this picture, see those markers on the ground, Captain? This placard right here is there to mark what?
Evidence. It's a crime scene marker.
Okay.
Or evidence marker.
What specifically is
Oh,
A?
it's that. I apologize. It's that light on the ground.
Okay. The tack light we just introduced is states number 6?
Correct.
Okay, and let me have 37. Okay. Do you see, you talked a little bit earlier about a drainage ditch. Did you see the drainage ditch in states number 37?
I do. That's the bottom left-hand corner.
This little area here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then AA, you just said it's a tack light?
Correct.
All right. Steph, let me have 38. All right, what is this? Did you see the tack light in this picture?
I do. This is before the markers were placed. By
Okay.
crime scene.
What in the body cam, it showed you throwing some pads and stuff down. What were you doing there?
So just due to me not having anything in physical possession, I just threw down my notebook. to
Who
mark
pushed those placards down later?
The yellow ones?
Yeah.
Crime scene.
Okay. You recognize this item here in states number 38?
I do.
And what is it?
That's a tack light.
Okay. What is states number, let's see, go back, Stephanie, to 35. What is, in states 35, what is that placard AB? What is that marking?
The shell casing.
Okay. And do you remember on your body cam when you located it on that video?
I do.
Okay. Let me show you states number 7. Well, you might not be able to identify, but do you remember it being there?
I do.
Okay.
My notebook marking it.
Okay, state's number 7, just to get you to identify. What was it? Look like?
It's labeled as 45 caliber FFC. I'm sorry, FCC, or fire casing, shell casing.
Does it list the marker?
It does. This is marker AB. Round.
So, but you yourself didn't collect that casing, you just identified it and let crime scene pick it up later?
Correct.
Okay. Noticed on there, were you present whenever the firearm was finally located on Mr. Chow?
Once I walked up, yes, sir, and they were taking it off.
Okay. This is states number 10. Just look at it, see if you can read it.
I do.
You recognize it?
I do.
Okay. And what was that?
It says Glock 45 caliber on there. I think the model was a Glock 30.
Do you recognize it as the weapon that you yourself saw being seized from Mr. Chow that night?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so after the scene was cleared, Mr. Belton was taken away. What did you do next?
Ran the firearms, created a crime scene log, and just waited by for a crime scene and informed the desk sergeant of what happened for the incident.
Did you ever have a chance to go back to 7441 Parkland?
Yes, sir. Myself, along with other investigators, walked over or drove over on the two to look at the surveillance footage.
Okay. Did you go with Investigator Jordan?
I did.
All right, and was your body worn camera on at that time?
It was.
Okay. And was it recorded?
It was.
Okay. Take it, Jordan.
That cop is like, I do not want to fucking be here. Holler, dude.
Let me show you states 49 through 52. Where we left off. And, I know we're trying to get through a bunch of pictures and I'm skipping around, but after you cleared the scene, we talked about the evidence at the scene, crime log and everything. Then you go back up to 7441 Parkland.
Correct.
Body camera stolen.
Correct.
Did you go in the store?
I did.
Okay. Were you able to further talk with Rick Chow?
I was.
Okay. And was Alice Chow there?
She was.
Okay. Who else was there?
Andy Chow, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Were you or were you not able to go back and review video with Rick Chow?
I was.
Okay. And was that filmed on your body camera?
It was, yes, sir.
Okay. Were you with investigator Ty Jordan?
I was.
Let me show you
So
states
I'm
49 through
fairly
52.
certain now
Tell me
we
if you
know
recognize
Ty
these.
Jordan is going to be called. He's been mentioned twice.
This is us looking at the security footage. This is multiple cameras on the screen. This one shows inside the store with Mr. Cyrus. This is a zoomed in shot of Mr. Cyrus at like a cooler,
Okay.
I guess you could call it. And then the last photo is us talking with Mr. Chow and his son in front of the cash register.
Okay. All right, you're on the state call for states 49 through 52 for admission of evidence.
Yeah, the 52, just the original objection as to 52 from yesterday's pretrial hearing. Other than that, no.
All right, they will be entered as, or admitted rather, as states 49 through 52, subject to defense objection yesterday.
Okay. Tell me about, was there anything, what was it, a convenience store?
It was.
Was there anything noteworthy or anything that you noticed when you go in the store?
So as soon as you walk in the store, besides the normal gas station stuff, once you walk up to the counter where the cashier is, I mean, they have like different things up there. Lottery tickets. At the top, there's like the wall chain. And it's pretty big. There's multiple people that's been in there prior.
Okay. Let me show you states 52. Well, you already seen it, but let me publish it. All right, first of all, who is this individual in stage 52?
That's investigator Jordan.
Okay. Is he here in the courtroom?
He is.
Raise your hand, Jordan. Okay. And this is who?
Mr. Rick Chow.
Do you see Rich out here today?
I do.
Okay, where is he?
Sitting at the table over there.
And this is who?
Mr. Andy Chow, his son.
All right. And this, what is this? Is this what you were just describing as the wall of change?
Yes, sir.
So you're there, and you clearly, this is your body camera.
Yes, sir.
At some point while your body cam's running, you go back, you said to the, where is the surveillance room? I guess with cameras all around.
Like behind the counter, there's like a little office space back over there.
Okay. Let me show you states number 49. All right, where are we looking in states 49?
We're inside that office space, looking at the surveillance footage.
All right, and whose head is that we see?
Mr. Rick Chow.
Okay. Do you know, all right, what are we looking at on his laptop with the record in front of him?
Multiple cameras, surveillance footages.
Okay. And there were a number of different camera angles, is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And
Okay,
is that what y'all
this
were
has
doing?
been
Yes, sir.
restated multiple times. Get to the point.
Let me show you states 50. All right, what are we looking at here?
One of the actual cameras, and then in the far right, top right side of that camera is Mr. Cyrus.
Okay. Liz, tell me about Mr. Chow. Was he able to demonstrate different capabilities with this surveillance system while you were there watching him?
Yes, sir.
All right. Such as?
You know, find what area go backwards on when the individual walked inside, when he was walking around, when he walked outside, any camera angle we needed to look at.
So he was able to access these different camera angles while you were there watching?
Yes, sir.
Was he able to reverse?
Yes, sir.
Fast forward?
Yes, sir.
Blow it up, make it bigger?
Yes, sir.
He was able to do all that?
Yes, sir.
You're just trying to establish that he could have
State
seen that he didn't
51.
steal anything.
What do we see here?
The photo, the photo from before, but zoomed in.
Okay, so he's actually taken the angle we saw before, but zoomed in on it?
Correct.
And then you were able to watch this particular video play out in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, as far as states 51, and what is depicting here, that video, that angle, what did you all discover when you watched it?
Mr. Cyrus, I think, grabs several waters from that cooler and then places them all back
Okay.
as if he decided he didn't want them anymore.
Okay. Well, is it safe to say that this is kind of the moment that y'all realized he never took anything?
Yes, sir.
So I think I see what they may be doing here. They're establishing that they have this quote unquote wall of shame, where I suppose they're posting people who have stolen things from the store. That's generally what those are for. That won't be readmitted to the store. You know, and it's kind of a like, hey, you stole from us. Like, it puts your face up there for everybody to notice. And I guess maybe what they're trying to establish here, and this would be my guess on where they were going if I would have been a juror, is that we have angles here on the camera, multiple angles where they can see that he stole nothing. So they could have established this before, you know, I guess this son, Andy, ended up in this pursuit with him. And then also that they had another measure to like identify and know that he may or may not have been a thief. I think that's where they're going with this. Let's see what we find out.
And all these, you've been able to watch a lot of these surveillance videos since then?
I would assume so.
And they were seized, your understanding as far as
I understand. Yes, sir.
All right. Stage 3, do you agree that that's the surveillance videos taken from the Shell gas station?
I would agree.
Got another sidebar going on. We're muted. If it doesn't go on for too long and we come back, I won't fast forward it. Let's see what we got.
The state offers at this time, state's number 3 for admission of evidence.
Well,
To be clear, we're not publishing the original report.
Yeah.
Hey, Law, you're welcome to come up if you would like. Oh my God, another fucking one. Thanks, Law. A little bit of a sidebar going on here. If it doesn't last for too long, let's see where it goes. Almost nothing. Like, we're trying to get through this first witness still. You can come up if you want. They're basically...
admitted as state.
So my estimation of what you missed and where I think they're going with this, they asked him about photographs from the store, photographs of the system, right, that they have in place, like their camera system. I think where they're sort of maybe leaning or trying to go with this, if I would be a juror, this would be where I think they would be going with this, is they're trying to establish, they had a wall of shame where they, I guess, posted pictures of shoplifters and such. And then they also have an entire, like, very intricate camera system where they can see everything that this person is doing, that they put stuff away. So I think they're going to make, like, the claim, like, hey, you could have looked at your cameras and saw he didn't steal anything. And then also, you had other recourse. You could have put him up on this wall of shame. Why did you chase him? Best guess of where they're going with this. This first witness is a little boring and doesn't want to be there, but that's my guess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. I will let the record that the defense says reserve the right to object on publication.
Yes, sir. Deputy, who at the scene on the night of May 28th, 2023, who ever said anything about Cyrus pointing a gun?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Oh,
You were the first to
that's
call.
a key question.
Yes, sir.
testimony under oath is nobody told you that night that Cyrus pointed a gun at anybody.
Yes, sir. No one told me that.
And in your body cam, when you talk to Rick Chow, what does he say? Does he say he ever saw a gun?
No, he said his son seen a gun.
Okay. What, if anything, did he say about Cyrus trying to run away?
He just said that he failed, kept running.
Okay. And then what did Mr. Rick Chow do as Cyrus was running away? In his own words.
He told him to drop the weapon, then proceeded to shoot one shot or fire one round.
Okay. And I noticed at some point he left the scene. Do you know where he went?
Okay, so that's, and maybe we're gonna hear from, I believe, this Officer Jordan. He's been brought up a few times as somebody who was on the scene with this guy. I think we'll hear from him too. Perhaps maybe he said this to another officer, but this is the first person on scene, the first person to talk to Rick Chow that we know of, and that's kind of big for me that they didn't even bother to mention that this young man, which the defense is alleging, pointed a gun. And maybe it'll be established with another officer. I can't tell you yet, but that's wild to me. Like, that would have been the first fucking thing I mentioned. I'd have been like, motherfucker had a gun and I had to do what I had to do. Like, crazy work.
I don't know where he went. I can assume he probably went.
Well, don't do that.
All right.
He left the scene.
He did.
And we see him in the body cam when he's coming back up to where Cyrus is, and you speak with him.
Yes, sir.
Speak a little louder.
All right, let me ask you again. On your body cam, we see you approach him as he's coming back towards the scene. We know he's there when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point,
Sorry,
we're able
my
to
stuff is
meet him
acting
as
up.
he's
I
coming
apologize.
back from Park Lane towards the scene.
Correct.
Okay. And at that point, it looks like you're telling him to stay put. You want to speak with him when you get a chance.
Objection, Your Honor. Reading.
Let me rephrase it.
This is right.
Explain, if any, difficulties you had as far as having witnesses stand still and stay put. Do you remember anything about that in your body cam?
Yeah, I remember telling Mr. Chow to stay by my vehicle.
Okay. How many times?
Multiple. He kept moving around, so I kept instructing him to stay where he was.
Anything else that you were involved with that night? Evidence, at the scene, and then going back to Park Lane and operating the body worn camera. Anything else you remember?
That's it.
All right, I'll just remind you. You talked earlier about the backpack.
Bro does not want to be there.
This is states 12. Stephanie, can we put 33 up? You recognize states 12?
I do.
What is it?
Backpack, of course.
And is that the same backpack we see in states number 33?
Yes, sir.
That you recovered from that drainage ditch?
Yes, sir.
Now the state offers states 12 permission.
No objection.
Be admitted to stage 12 without objection.
I just want to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Let me ask real quick, but I think I'm winding down.
I have this sped up, y'all, so if it goes too long, hold on, let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, he's coming back. The Rick Chow
You
trial.
identified him earlier. States 10. States 7.
Yes, sir.
State 7 was what?
The jail casing.
The marker AB.
Yes, sir.
10.
Firearm from Mr. Chow.
The state, this time offer states 10 instead of permission evidence.
All right, stage 7 and 10 will be admitted without objection.
Only other thing that I think is sort of left out. Do you remember? Oh, wait a minute.
That pointer stick is sending me. Like, I'm sorry, he's just always fiddling with it, and it's fucking funny.
What, if anything, you know how there's timestamp on your body worn camera video?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry.
What, if anything, and I'm looking even at stage 52, did you notice anything about the timing when you were viewing the different cameras and camera angles within the gas station as far as the times associated with those videos?
Yes, sir. I realized it was off by a few days as well as the time was off.
Okay. So the times and dates on some of the cameras from
Okay.
within the gas station didn't quite match up.
Yes, sir.
I had another stack of pictures I meant to talk to you about earlier, but they hid from me when I told you. This is 44 through 48, just quickly.
Lord
Those-
Jesus
just kind of
fucking
direct
Christ.
on
Show him one more fucking picture.
I do.
them. Okay. Starring, you recognize those?
I do.
I know they have to do it, but it just drives me nuts.
As far as states 48 and 47, what are we seeing in those pictures?
2 cell phones.
Okay, where are those located?
Right now?
Where
Yeah,
are located in this picture?
No, on the counter.
Where? Where was the counter?
Oh, inside the store.
Okay, gotcha. What, just a white and black cell phone?
Yes, sir.
You know, state all, states 47, 48 for Michigan Donuts.
47, 48. No objection.
All right, stage 48, I'm sorry, 47 and 48 will be admitted without objection.
States 45 and 46, what do we see here?
You see a white shoe, almost like an Air Force One, located within the store as well, next to the counter where the phone's located.
Okay. States 45 and 46 for Michigan Donuts.
No objection.
All right, let me admit to stage 45 and 46 without objection.
States 44?
Oh, that's inside the store.
And that just, does that
Judge, you
indicate?
do have an objection to that. Probably shouldn't get even. Pre-trial motion.
Oh, okay, that's fair. What number was that, Scott?
44.
All right. Go ahead.
Just fairly and accurately depict how the store looked on the night of May 28, 2023.
Yes, sir.
State officer, states 44 for Michigan Donuts.
Even in stage 44, subject to the pre-trial date.
Deputy English, please answer any questions that Mr. Sorlin has for you.
I think we're going to break for lunch at this point. I suspect Mr. Burton's cross-examination may be a little bit lengthy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break for lunch now. It is 12:40. Let's be back here at 2 o'clock, and we'll try to get started as soon thereafter. Again, don't suffocate.
Okay.
Sir.
We'll take a pause break real quick. Law, if you have any thoughts, you can come up if you'd like. If not, that's cool. I get it. So we're kind of starting, like, we're going through this first witness with Rick Chow. They're basically verifying a lot of evidence that was collected, photographs, some of the officer, what they saw, who they interacted with, how they interacted with them. I guess maybe I'm still on my best theory of what they may be trying to like get at with this guy, but they're gonna go to cross. We'll see more after that. And then we can go from there. Let's see. Jesus, they have a long ass lunch. Let's see. I think we're right here.
That's not the grounds that we got those business record affidavits under.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Sorry. Give me one sec. Oh. Give me one sec, guys.
Your Honor, we do have one matter we would like to take up before the jury comes out.
Okay, you loaded. Sorry. I was like, it was slow on my end. What's up, Law?
Not much. How are you?
Living the dream, man. Trying to fast forward through the slower parts of this so people don't get bored, but you can't fast forward through everything, so.
Right. Yeah, I was listening as I was getting ready for the evening. I think maybe just one thing that people might not realize is that you don't get to just introduce pictures to the jury. You don't get to just say, hey, here's a picture of everything, jury. You have to lay a foundation of it. So that's why you get.
Oh, you cut out. Or did I cut out? What happened? Law, come back. What the hell? Hold on. I don't even see you. Oh, okay. Sorry, that was weird. I don't know what happened.
I see how it is.
I didn't do anything, I swear. What's up?
I know it's boring law shit, but come on.
I would never boo you, and you'd know better.
So everything has to come in through a witness, and you have to ask a series of questions in order to get a piece of evidence in. So there's a video or a photo or a document or a piece of evidence you want the jury to look at. You have to lay the foundation. So that's why he's asking all these, seemingly boring and pedantic questions to the officer in order to get that evidence in.
Just felt so bad for that officer. I just got serious vibes that he's like, bitch, don't pull me into this shit. Like, that's how he looked on the stand the whole time. He was just like, I don't want to fucking be here, man. And I can't blame him. I wouldn't want to be there either. Like, that's not
Well,
the goal.
I think the event happened 2 years prior to this, maybe even longer.
Oh, maybe.
Before the trial, and if I recall correctly, the officer works at a different agency now. So now they're pulling him off of his main duties and requiring him to come and watch this case.
Poor guy. Hi, Attorney Di. What's up?
Well, good evening, everybody.
You haven't missed much. We got through the openings and one witness, but we're not done with the witness. They're going to come back and cross-examine him. So, yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, it's slow going, but early days, I guess. But anyway.
Well, did you want to take it from the top real quick? Could you do a quick overview, in 90 seconds?
Law could probably give you that better than I could. I'm not as good at that. It'd take me 30 minutes to get through 30 seconds.
Fair.
Yeah, the state's theory of the case is that they pursued him and that there was malice, aforethought to go and chase this kid. He didn't actually steal anything, therefore they had no justification to chase him, and that they mentioned that the 14-year-old, the victim here, had a firearm. Even though he was 14, I didn't think they did a really strong job of kind of owning that bad fact.
I wonder if it was in the motion in limine, something like that. I tried to get that pulled out.
Yeah, but it is relevant because it's alleged on the defense side that it was used in it was the impetus for the self-defense. So it would have been difficult as it was integral to the defense theory. But and then the defense, they have a compelling story and allegedly some witnesses to back it up. They're bifurcating the circumstances. One is that Chow's son went chasing after who he thought was a thief, and that the dad, Chow, the one who shot, had a firearm and was following his son to make sure everything was okay. And then at that point, the victim, the deceased, pulled a firearm on the son, and the father acted in self-defense of his son.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the defense theory. One thing I did note though is South Carolina doesn't have kind of the common law tiers of homicide.
Defense. Oh.
They have just a straight, it's kind of like Texas where it's a straight malice, or you can charge them with voluntary manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter.
We have that too.
Yeah. So there may have been, at least from my perspective, the state really put themselves in a very small box, needing to prove the malice aforethought required to get a homicide versus like a voluntary manslaughter.
Right. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Interestingly enough, the first officer to arrive on the scene, which is the guy before, they did ask him an interesting question that I found relevant. Now, could he have established what occurred with another officer? Perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. We're only on the first one. But prosecutor asked him, he's like, did he mention, the Cyrus pointing a gun at any point while you were talking to him? And he's like, no, he didn't mention that at all. So, like, maybe we'll see it from another officer, but they never said anything to the first deputy, I guess, that was on the scene. They never mentioned, hey, he was pointing a gun. Like, I'm telling you, if I had had to fire and I was that would have been the first thing out of my mouth. Like, motherfucker had a gun pointed at me. Of course I shot him. Maybe
Mhm.
So
I'm the crazy one, but
I tell people that if you ever have to use self-defense, there's 4 things you tell the cops, and in this order. First, I'm the one who called, so you want the cops to know that you're the complaining witness here. He attacked me. You want to get it out immediately that you are the victim of this attack, and then you point out the witnesses and the evidence that's relevant, and then you don't answer any more questions until you talk to your attorney. Those 4 things. But he attacked me should have been the second thing he said after I'm the one who called.
Right.
it may have been the first thing I said. I may not go in that particular order, Law, but like, no, it would have been I'm just imagining that had to use my firearm in a way I've never had to use it. Thank God. Like, that's never the goal, right? Like, have it and not need it is always where you're at. But like, had I have had to do that, this would have been the first thing out of my mouth. Bro had a gun. I was terrified. I was also armed. I thought he was going to shoot my son, and I fired. Like, that is so easy. Like, maybe I'm the worst client ever because I would have said that to the cops, but yeah.
No. I mean that's fine. I always tell people if you ever have to draw a weapon in self-defense, be the first person to call. There's a tremendous amount of psychology that goes on with being the first person to call. You're immediately treated as the victim.
Right.
Even if you're the aggressor, if you're the first person to call, you get the presumption of being the victim as the person who reached out for assistance first. So that's always the benefit. But yeah, as long as you get out immediately, I was attacked and I defended myself. That's fine. You just don't want to answer any questions beyond that.
Well, yeah,
So
obviously.
at this point, I don't mean to interrupt when you're going through, but at this point, have we had some definitive information about him actually having a weapon?
Allegations so far.
Okay.
I mean, like, he did have a weapon, right? Like, we do know that. I think that they recovered it, correct, Law?
Yeah, a semi-automatic pistol with a laser.
With a laser.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Sharks
Okay.
with freaking laser beams
Defense
attached
said
to
it
their
about
freaking head. Sorry.
Defense said it about 14 times, which is really interesting kind of a role shift for me. I'm used to the state making all of the grandiose claims about the dangerousness of the particular firearm, and in this case, it's the defense making all the arguments about how dangerous the firearm was.
Well,
Interesting.
I'll say this. This is my anecdotal, experience with tack lights, right? So I worked at the hospital. We had something occur. Police had to come in, blah, 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 blah. I'm going out to the parking lot, leaving to go to my car. And I step on something. I'm like, what the shit is this? And I reach down, I know what it is, and I know who it belongs to because there are officers like all over. And so I end up having to go and find, I didn't find the actual person it belonged to, but I just went up to an officer and I was like, bro, your tack light fell the fuck off. Like, do you need this back? And he was like, oh, thank God, we were looking, blah, blah, blah. I was like, y'all are fucking wild. Those things fall off easily. It was something that was found in this case that's just my anecdotal experience. So
Get an Allen wrench, guys. Come on.
Exactly.
oh my God, I gotta send you the city council video from my town law where this guy goes on at least a 20-minute rant, or well, it felt like 20 minutes with the city council about how we're 100 officers short. It was beautiful up until the end where he was like, the federal government needs to come in and take over. And then I was like, oh, I know.
Oh, dear.
I know this motherfucker.
Yep. Lost you on that one.
Yeah, he lost me on that part, but it was he went hard for like a solid couple of minutes about how like our officers are understaffed and people are waiting for hours when their door gets kicked in. And it was actually it's worth a watch. I mean, up until like the last couple of like minute or so, but it's good. I was like, I need to start going to more city council meetings because that guy was losing his mind. It was great. Okay, so anyway, we're all updated, ready to get back into this. Everybody ready? Okay.
I'm so ready. Yes.
Woo! Okay, let's see.
So we would just ask the witness to be excused for just the duration of this brief argument.
Okay. How about that?
Did they not cross him?
Thank you, Your Honor. And we just conferred with the state about our intent to offer some of the body cam from the scene that night, and this is all in relation to the impression the state has just made in front of the jury that no one said anything about Mr. Carmack Felton pointing a weapon at Andy Chow. So obviously in cross-examination to combat that, we would like to play the statements of Rick Chow made to both Deputy English as well as Deputy Carter on scene. As we just saw, as Mr. Chow starts getting into the substance of what happened, Deputy English just walked away. Actually, at the very moment that he starts describing, what's going on with his gun. So our basis to admit both of these exhibits, and specifically Carter's, would be the stipulation between the parties that we took up before trial that all of the body camera in this case is authentic and meets the 8036 business record hearsay exception. During the conference that we just had with the state, it brought up that we had some objections to the content of some of the video, which would reiterate that those objections we had to some of the content were based on the confrontation clause, not any hearsay argument which we've already stipulated around. And the confrontation clause is unique to the accused, and we raised that because we were concerned about the state not calling all of these other purported eyewitnesses. So that being said, we also supplement the basis for admission under 106 to rule completeness. We just heard a segment of Mr. Chow's statement that the state wanted evidence, and we would like for the jury to hear the entirety of that statement must be considered in its totality to fairly understand the context and obviously cross-examine this witness about the impression we just made in front of the jury.
Well, thank you, Ms.
We were just showing two envelopes labeled.
What does that mean in English? Does that mean they came to some sort of agreement on like what's on the body cam except for certain parts?
It sounds like the state isn't planning on calling all of the officers and is only trying to get the body camera portions of one of the officers, and the officer walked away while Chow was giving his statement. So the defense is arguing that the rest of the body cameras need to come in, even if those officers aren't there, because of two things: the confrontation clause, that there were statements made that by the officers that the defense are entitled to cross-examine them on. And then two is the rule of completeness I heard mentioned, which means that the state can't just use a segment of a piece of evidence in defense too. It goes both ways on that. They can't just use a segment of a broader piece of evidence, in this case, body camera, when the jury's entitled to hear the entirety of the record if the record exists.
So all or nothing. They're like you either put all of it in there or just like in simple terms, layman's terms, all or nothing.
Well, it sounds like that this particular officer caught some of the interaction of the body camera that they just put in, caught some of the interaction, and the defense wants the rest of this statement to come in.
And I think too that what I heard mostly was they were trying to get around the hearsay problems with that by putting that to the side and then offering the second piece instead. And I think they said Rule 106 for, that's got to be for witnesses, right? I don't remember 106, but anyway, it's interesting because they're kind of figuring out how to get that evidence in. And it sounds like there are some stipulations and agreements in place.
Well, yeah, like, so I will say the one question that was asked of that, the first deputy on the scene that I felt was like really interesting was like, did Rick Chow ever say, that this person pointed a gun at you? And like, that's what I figured they were going to call other officers. Like, that was my assumption because they had mentioned a particular officer that was, I guess, working with him a couple of times, our investigator, Jordan. I figured he would be called. But that's that's really broad. And I was like, well, I don't know if maybe he said it to any of the other officers. I'm sure there's multiple reasons they're doing this, but I'm just trying to like think about, why they might be arguing. Sorry, I'm getting on a tangent. I'll let it go.
Well, no, yeah, I'm curious to see where the rest of this is going because I'm sure the state has more witnesses. So maybe he's just preserving the argument in case the state is declining to call some of these other witnesses. But 106 is for recorded statements. So that's where the rule of completeness would come in.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I don't have my book of rules with me right now.
I'm lucky that Minnesota, all of our rule numbers for state court mirror the federal rules, so I don't have to remember two different sets.
That's
nice.
Pretty good.
All right, let's see what they're gonna do next.
Michaela had a question there. This is the case. It's been making the rounds. Rick Chow was found not guilty of homicide for unaliving a 14-year-old who he thought stole some water bottles from his gas station. And the defense is arguing that it was a self-defense because the 14-year-old had a firearm. So after they chased him for 130 yards.
Which, according to law, who told me last night, because it was the first thing I asked, which how much of a football field is that? It's a football field in a third. So, thank you for that one because I don't do the sports balls. So,
yeah, it depends on how you count it. Like from goal line to goal line is 100 yards, but then there's also 10 yards for the goal posts. So it's 1.1 to 1.3 football fields, depending on how you count it.
I love the technicality, and I love that you know that. It's amazing.
It really is.
At least somebody here can tell me something that I can visualize. It was funny because I asked that question, and then the next thing that bro said was, that's a football field and a blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, this guy's on my level. The prosecutor in this case, I was like, all right, yeah, I need something I can visualize here.
Perfectly understandable.
All right, let's get back into it.
Camera. We just spent a lot of time yesterday talking about what needed to be redacted out of English's body on camera. We did that and played it today. So I'm unclear what they want to introduce as far as English body cam because we just played it today. All I've seen is an envelope labeled English body camera. The other one is card. I believe they have card on their witness list. There have been no stipulation as far as hearsay section. The statute is 19-5-520. And again, that is why we spent a lot of time muting several parts of our body-worn camera belonging to English because there was a general objection to things that were spoken about in those body cameras. And what they're seeking to do is introduce through English, the next witness who's on the stand now, something he didn't hear, something he wasn't privy to. It was a statement made to another officer. They can call him to the stand. Then I got a problem because what is the exception they're offering? It couldn't be a part of the opponent. They're trying to offer something Mr. Chow said to another officer who's not in the courtroom today. I don't know what the exception is, but they certainly can call him to the stand and talk about any statements he made to law enforcement that night. I'm sorry? No, they can certainly call Chow
He's sassy.
to say anything that he remembers saying to law enforcement at the time. So just to be clear, I know this is confusing. I have not dealt with this. They are seeking to introduce a body-worn camera that contains a statement made by Chow to an officer. And they're seeking to do it through English. He wasn't there to hear any of these statements. I don't understand how he can, testify to this conversation. All they got to do is call Deputy Carter to authenticate the video, to talk about what he's saying, what the defendant's saying, but then they still have the hearsay. So they can certainly call him to the stand, and if he says something different, then we can impeach him with a prior statement. I don't know if I know it's a confusing situation to talk about. They're trying to introduce something that this officer wouldn't be privy to. Something that's picked up by a completely different officer's camera. So,
Your Honor, the facts of what he did not hear are just as proper to ask this witness about in the context of what he's now saying, that there was no statement made on the scene that night that Mr. Carmack Belton pointed a gun at Andy Chow. That was very much communicated to officers on scene that night. And the state is really...
English body-worn camera is already in exhibit.
English is body-worn camera, so what we're really talking about is Carter's body-worn camera. When English is asking Mr. Chow, what happened, and he starts getting into the substance of it, and the very line that he starts referencing the gun that Mr. Carmack Belton had, he walks away to go talk to Andy Chow.
Okay, well, I think everybody saw that already.
Right, and so the rest of the statement that Mr. Chow is making about the gun...
Oh, did they send the jury out and I missed it?
There is no objection the state can have at this point in time.
Yeah, there's no way the jury's hearing this conversation.
That'd be a huge prejudicial piece.
I think it's still got to properly come in.
Should I fast forward through this? I don't know. It's
No, he's just going to talk about the hearsay exception. Like, do you not care about me at all, Cass?
Okay. I'll let it go.
So Cass's intent here was to treat us like jurors so that we could only see what the jury saw. But we know, us nerds here know what we can disregard. So just pointing out for the people in the audience, all of these statements that are this argument that's going back and forth is not being heard by the jury. So they're arguing about what evidence is and is not going to come in. And that absolutely cannot happen in front of the jury because the jury's not supposed to know about any inadmissible evidence.
Right, exactly. All right, that makes sense. If you want to fast forward it, no problem.
No, we're already in it now. I'll fast forward through the next one. Like, give me a heads up though, because I'm trying to fast forward through this, and there are little things I just don't catch. So I'm like, oh shit, Okay, perfect. We will go through this part.
A foundation, if I'm not mistaken, and we've already stipulated that.
I don't see how English establishes an appropriate foundation for Carter's body cam.
Well, we've stipulated that it need not be authenticated. No additional foundation needs to be laid for any of the 911, any of the body cam, or any of the surveillance.
I don't think anybody has done that.
I did the business record affidavit motion, can I?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in the notice that we sent, and even on the record, we said that pursuant to section 19.5.20. So I'm not sure what the 803 thing keeps talking about. That's not the grounds that we got those business record affidavits under. We got under the statute. And what we talked about on Friday was that the business record affidavit, the purpose for the body-worn cameras is that the videos themselves are authentic, meaning we didn't have to call English to say, yes, this is my body camera. But their main objection, I believe Mr. McCullough was the one who said it, was that, yes, we will say that these videos are authentic, but we may have objections to the hearsay that are in the business record, which is typical with any business record. It was a medical record, and there was hearsay in it. You couldn't just put the medical records in. And that was the whole thing yesterday with English's body-worn camera and the statements of Lori and Kenny and the other witnesses. They want all that muted because it was hearsay. It's the same thing in Carter's. And that's why the video surveillance is, is hearsay in those body cameras. And English didn't even hear the conversation. And like you said, there's no hearsay exception. We did not stipulate the hearsay in the videos of body cameras.
Your Honor, we're pretty
Whoa.
flatly misrepresenting the record. Our entirety of our objection
They're
was
so
1 under
salty, I
403,
love it.
which the court recalls, and 2 under the confrontation clause, which is unique to a defendant. We have stipulated that the business record notice we got that contains reference to the statute that the state just cited is the notice of intent to offer business records, which is the hearsay exception. We agreed that all of this meets the first line of hearsay exception. And now the state is trying to dig itself out of this stipulation when we're offering this to save time. It's going to come in anyway. If the state doesn't want us to be able to correct the impression that it just made, I think we need to give the court reporter time to listen to the question and answer that the state just asked this witness about who said what about Mr. Carmack Belton pointing a gun at Andy Chow that day. And we haven't even gotten to the rule of completeness issue. If that needs to be reserved for our case, then so be it. But in fairness, there's no reason under the agreements that we have already made that this can't be offered time now.
The agreements are, it is what it purports to be, not that it comes in through any witness. Do we just not need to put it in? We just throw everything to the jury? So we already stipulated, nothing here to see. That's what you're asking, essentially.
If the parties were to agree to all the, try to get legal issues, then we theoretically could do that. But I just don't understand what the state's issue is with putting the complete statement of the defendant.
Appropriate witness.
Understood, Your Honor.
So, yeah, if you need to cross-examine him, his body won't be canoned, but not all the parties.
Understood, Your Honor.
So they're trying to find a person to get the evidence in through?
Yes.
Okay. Because a couple of them weren't in the courtroom, right?
I don't like that the state is working so hard to keep the complete statement of Chow out. That gives me heartburn.
Yeah, suspicious.
I feel like, yeah, that's a red flag for me. If it's, there's no reason it shouldn't be in there. I don't understand why it wouldn't be. That seems ridiculous.
Well, there must be something in there. And I keep getting this feeling like, wow, we didn't take care of this in any of the pretrial motions. And so the questioning was what had triggered this conversation, right? And so now they're like, well, they're not here, so we don't have someone who can actually offer it. And nobody needs that kind of a nightmare. Oh my gosh, what was that case? I can't remember the case. Was it the Craig case? Where they're like, you can't offer evidence if your witness is unalived and stuff. I digress. The point is, it sounds like they're trying to get that in, but it's so weird because if it was that important, why are we just kind of shooting from the hip here? You know what I mean?
That's my thing is I feel like this should have been maybe settled and taken care of before. I get that things come up. I'm not hating. I'm not but I felt like somehow we missed this step somewhere. So sorry. That was just my thought.
The extent of the stipulations too.
Yeah, it looked like they had a stipulation as to authenticity, but even if it's authentic, you still need somebody who can lay a proper foundation. So authenticity is one thing that it is what it purports to be. But then you need somebody else to say whether or not it's a fair and accurate representation of what it is. So that's the two steps of authenticating a piece of evidence is what is it? And then is it what it purports to be? But then the other part is it a fair and accurate representation? And that has to be made by somebody who has firsthand knowledge.
Right. Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's see where they end up with this, because now I'm just intrigued as to, again, to Dice Hole, why the hell this wasn't handled before. But yeah. Looks like they're going to call him back to the stand, even though they just excused him for the duration.
Yes, the Crawford case. Oh my gosh. I was like, how can I not remember? Of course it was a Crawford case. I got to pull that up and read it again.
Yeah, Crawford says that you can't bring evidence in from an unavailable witness unless they were previously subject to cross-examination.
All right, Mr. English, I remind you, you're still under oath. Mr. Swerve.
Thank you, hey, Mr. English, let me ask you, when you were standing there and you had been talking to Mr. Chow, at some point when you asked the question, you walked away, somebody called you and you walked away from Mr. Chow. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that was in the middle of a conversation about whether or not somebody saw the weapon or not,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Carter was standing right near you, was he not?
If I can remember so.
Pardon?
If I can remember correctly.
And did you happen to hear the conversation between Mr. Carter and Mr. Chow?
No, sir.
Did you happen to review it later?
Who's
No, I
Mr.
never
Carter?
watched his body count.
Are you aware?
The other officer.
Details, but are you aware of what Mr. Chow told Mr. Carter?
No, sir.
But you do agree that at the time you were asking that question, you got interrupted and walked away, and Mr. Chow was standing there. You didn't follow up, correct?
Correct.
He's leading this guy all over the place.
This is
There are
defense.
a few questions I'd like to ask
Okay.
you. When you arrived on the scene, Mr. Chow was still there, correct?
Correct.
And his son was still there, is that correct?
I don't recall it.
You don't remember whether, okay. And did you observe what Mr. Chow was doing when you arrived?
I know when I arrived, he told me that there was a firearm on the ground.
Did you see him giving any kind of life-saving measures to Mr. Carmichael?
No.
You did not see him?
I observed the other female giving chest
But
compressions.
he was standing there
Closely.
the time you saw him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And he stayed there, and he spoke with you when you asked him some questions, correct?
Briefly, yes, sir.
Yeah. And we've already established that at some point you didn't follow up with the question, but Mr. Carter was standing right there, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, you went ahead and you found the book bag in, I don't know, you call it a ditch or whatever.
The drainage
it is.
ditch, yes, sir.
And you picked up the book bag, and at the point that you picked it up, you did not realize it had anything to do with the case. Is that correct?
I was unsure.
Pardon?
I was unsure if it had anything to do with it, yes, sir.
But you did take it into your possession.
Correct.
And did you open the bag?
I looked inside briefly.
All right. And do you recall whether or not what was in the bag? Some papers?
Miscellaneous
You didn't see
documents.
money in the bag, did you?
Not that I can recall. No, miscellaneous items, a few documents, that's it.
Okay. And what did you do with the bag at that point?
Put it back in my trunk.
And that's where you put the other items as well.
Correct.
When you found the Taurus 9mm semi-automatic weapon in the area, you went ahead and you picked that up. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you took it over your vehicle as well?
Correct.
I think that's on the video.
Yes, sir.
And you went ahead and cleared what we call clear the gun, did you not?
Yes, sir, I did.
And when you cleared the gun, you realized the gun was loaded, correct? Did you pull the
Correct.
magazine out as well?
I did.
And the magazine had a full clip, correct?
It had rounds in the magazine, yes.
And there was when you pulled back the slide on the Taurus 9, there was a bullet in the chamber. Is that
It was a
correct?
round in the chamber, correct. Yes, sir.
Right. And you removed that bullet from the chamber, and then you safely put it in your vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
So at that point, the pistol was ready to fire, correct? If there was one in the chamber?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes.
Now, also, with respect to this,
I just want to stop right there. That's not that unusual to have something chambered. Like, I feel like that's a weird thing to hit on. Maybe it's just me.
Well, you said this was defense counsel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's probably trying to just get everything out. Like, let's get all the talking points out, I would imagine. And that way it's not going to come back and on the flip side with the attorneys being like, oh, well, you didn't talk about the one that was in the chamber. That's what I'm getting from it, Law. I don't know about you.
Yeah, so they're talking about the kid's gun, and so what the defense is trying to do is provide maximum effect to the jury that this gun was dangerous, it was ready to go, therefore Chow had every right to defend himself because, this gun was just a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. So that's why he's going through all this. Wow, so it had a round in the chamber, which means it's ready to fire. And he had a full magazine, full of rounds, or clip. clip, as he said. But so yeah, it's about causing maximum effect to the jury to give them an idea that this was a ready to go firearm that posed an immediate threat to Chow's life.
Okay,
Gotcha.
excellent.
I guess you call it a laser, and white. This was something that you put on a pistol.
The fucking laser.
Tack light was an attachment.
In this particular situation, this is a combination of the laser and a light, correct?
Yes.
That you put on the pistol.
You can
and it
attach
has
it.
a certain groove on top of the pistol and the bottom to go ahead and attach it to it?
Yes.
Okay, and I believe you said it was common, but I mean, law enforcement doesn't carry those. As part of your normal duty. Do they?
Law enforcement.
The fuck
carry
they
tack lights.
don't.
That is correct.
They carry a tack light?
Yes, sir.
With a laser?
No, with the laser.
What law?
The defense.
What the hell? You kept. Oh,
Yes.
law, you're lagging, babe.
Oh, the defense attorney's like, well, this is. Fuck.
Wait, did you-
gotta reset
did you
the
hear that?
country Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I'm trying. It's a struggle.
There you go.
You're good now. Go ahead.
So yeah, I was just saying that the defense attorney's like, he again in his efforts to try to make this firearm seem more dangerous than any other firearm, which it wasn't. He goes, this tack light with a laser. That's not something law enforcement has, is it? And then the cop's like, yeah, we do. They're standard issue. So
Oh, that did not help.
Like I said,
No.
my anecdotal story, like, yeah, they got tack lights. Like, this is not unusual. It's weird that the defense brought that up. Like, why would you not know that? That's weird for me.
well, and you never ask a question you don't know the answer to, and so I don't know why he would just assume that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've skirted pretty close to the line on that. Like, I know you're not supposed to do that, but there have been a couple of times where I'm like, I'm too close to the line of not knowing what they're going to say. So you
Well,
got to pull back.
I do that too when the answer isn't really going to cause that much of an
Mhm.
effect, so
Right.
if I don't know the answer and it's not going to harm me, but if they give the answer I'm thinking they might give, it gives me another line of questioning. I'll ask it, but never if it's anything that's going to make you look like an idiot or something that's going to be detrimental to your case.
Well, it did make him look like an idiot, at least for me. Like, that's a really weird. As a juror, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like, I'm sorry. Like, that would be me. I'd be like, "No." Like, what are you talking about? Okay, Rachel in the comments. Nobody on this panel gives legal advice. It's just not something that's allowed. As a friend, talk to the FBI. Submit your report.
Did
That's
she
all I'm gonna
freeze
say.
for anybody else?
Am I frozen?
No, not for me.
Oh, she's frozen for me.
Oh, what about you, Law? Is she frozen?
Oh, looking great as always.
Yes. Love the pink light back there. Looking good.
Oh,
You
there we
might
go.
need to go out and then come back in sometimes. Or have you had the
Yeah.
latest update?
I do have the latest update, but she's fixed now, so that's good. Hi, Cass. Sorry.
Oh, well, there you have
Oh.
it then.
Just real quick, I don't know if Rachel's in Minnesota and if she's talking about the ICE watchers who were
No.
recently charged. Okay.
She's talking
Goodness.
about Cash Patel came out and said that there was some sort of plot at that the white trash White House event. It came out today or maybe last night. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I was gonna ask you about that later. I meant to text you about that earlier today because I saw that on Twitter and I was like, what is happening right now? What are we doing? So
Just punishing people for their First Amendment. That's all.
yeah, because that's what
Yep.
government excels at that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back into this. Jen, you haven't missed much. We're still on the first witness. And defense is cross-examining. So that's where we're at.
Thank you so much for catching me up.
You are welcome, ma'am.
Oh, real
These
quick
are
before you go
held
back
for.
in, I know you've got a lot of testimony here, but
Yeah.
so this is the very first witness then for the defense, or this
No,
was
for
called by the
the
No, we're
state?
still on
prosecution.
state's case in chief right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is the first witness.
correct.
Okay, I really just asked that because I think the order of your witnesses is very important. And so it seems like this fella was the one with the different steps of investigation, so he could kind of walk everybody through the case.
He was
So
the
that might
first
be
he
the
was the
first one.
first officer on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that
Okay.
I think that's probably why they called him first. But yeah, he was
Yep.
the first to show up. Oh, go ahead, Law. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I just said, yep. He was able to provide the layout, where the store was, where the confrontation happened. So yeah, he was there just to try to set the scene.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Thank you.
Real quick question. You guys were talking about the order of witnesses. Is it ever more beneficial to have a lead up to where the less important, I guess, witnesses or less important testimony is done first, leading up to the major thing? Or is it always more beneficial to have the most important, most crucial people first?
There's two schools of thought. One is you're going to go chronologically so that the jury can logically follow with what happened next. The other is whoever your most important witness is, you want to get them up first because the jury's never going to be more attentive than they are on your first witness. They start getting bored really quick.
Yep.
See, I
There's
always
and I would also do real quick, sorry, Cass.
No, you're
I
good.
also was like you start and you finish big. And like whatever happens in the middle is kind of an up and down situation, but your first witness needs to be your strongest. And then also you need to bring your next strongest one, as long as you don't need it during the first piece, as your finisher. But that's kind of how I've done it. But I don't
Yeah,
know,
would you usually like call your like lead investigator last?
Usually if there's another investigator there, like if he had a co-pilot, we would put the law enforcement first and then take it through everything else, and then kind of at the end, whomever was dealing with the evidence, etc.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happens here is they'll bring their officers up generally to kind of set the scene and everything initially. Any of the experts get put in the middle because nobody remembers what they say anyway. And then at the end they would bring up. We generally have on felony cases here a lead investigator. So it's the person who pulled all the evidence together, helped with the case file, all of that. And then they would testify him to kind of wrap everything up and, restate everything that's already been stated.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
See,
We did that a lot, but when we pulled our last person in, they're supposed to leave like this big impression, and sometimes they don't. So that's like the bad part.
as somebody who's a little like maybe a nice word to describe it would be anal retentive, I appreciate the chronological order of it, like, because otherwise my brain can't I don't like having to like move things around and be like, okay, let me shift over to this time period or this time period. Like, I hate that. But by the same token, I can appreciate a flashy finish. Like, I won't lie.
Well-
Like, I like the most interesting one to be at the end because then I'm like, ooh, what's up?
Well, and sometimes too, it's based off of, and what I've found is that I would base the order off of the evidence that I wanted the judge or the jury to see as well. So sometimes we just go like, I need to get this letter in, I need to get this one in too. So it didn't really matter who the testimony was. Those aren't my big pieces, but the big piece was getting in the evidence to show whatever it was I was trying to get shown.
I gotcha.
So that's kind of like two ways, like chronological or a level of importance for evidence, as opposed to like full direct evidence with the testimony.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you, guys.
All right, let's get back into this.
What's the point of having a laser on a tack light?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Accuracy?
A laser
Could be,
on a
sure.
tack
You
light?
can put the laser on a target and it's dead center, correct? You can hit that target because the laser hits that target, does it not?
I'm not an armorer, so I'm not sure.
All right. But
Just as a side note, Rick Cho unalived this young man one shot. Just pointing that out. I thought it was funny that he's asking these questions. But anyway.
you agree that the laser itself is not standard equipment. It's not something that's common, correct?
Yes.
Pack light is.
Yes.
But not something with a laser.
Yes, sir.
You wouldn't go that far to say that's a common, some common instrument on a pistol, correct?
That's not common. No.
All right, and this was a semi-automatic.
I think that calls for
Were they,
speculation.
hollow points or full jacket bullets?
I can't remember.
Okay. So you cleared it, you put it in your vehicle, and then you found the laser tack light, correct?
Correct.
And you took that to your vehicle and you stored it in your vehicle as well, correct?
No, I didn't pick up.
What did you do with that?
Stayed there. The crime scene came. It was marked.
Okay, so, but it was taken into evidence.
It was, yes, I
You
guess you could say
didn't,
that.
but somebody else took it.
Yes.
And as far as you were concerned, I believe you put it in your report, that tack light laser went with the 9mm Taurus pistol.
It could have been
Correct?
attached to it, yes.
That was your conclusion?
Yes.
In fact, you wrote a report about that,
That's
correct?
correct.
Okay. So again, let me just ask, you cannot explain to the jury why someone would have a laser on a pistol, or what the purpose of it is?
No, just because I'm not an armorer, but I noticed it had a flashlight on it.
Pardon?
I realized it had a flashlight on it, which
So
is
a flashlight, yeah,
tactical
we're talking
attachment.
about a laser with a red dot.
Yes,
And
I'm
can you
not-
tell the jury, you're law enforcement, how long have you been in law enforcement?
4 years.
Okay. You cannot tell the jury why you would have a red dot, a laser on a vehicle?
You can use it for accuracy. Law enforcement doesn't carry it unless it's on a rifle. But as far as anything else, I'm not too sure. It's not really common, but the flashlight portion of it is very common. People use it when they want to see at nighttime, see into a room that's dimly lit. That's what you use the flashlight portion for. That's
Sure.
correct.
But when you made a comment on direct examination that it was common, you were referring to the light. You were not referring to the laser with the red dot, correct?
Correct. Yes, the
That was
flashlight's
not-
common.
Correct?
Sure.
Okay, I hate this because maybe it's just me, but I see those combined in a lot of instances, like where you have the light, but you also have, the sight. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just thinking of something else. Fuck. It's
No, they're very common.
okay. I was
they're-
like,
Usually you can, when you buy one, like Streamlight makes them, you can get the flashlight or you can get the flashlight and laser combo. It's not uncommon at all. And I don't know why this defense, I tell you, there better be some testimony that they saw the red dot on, from the laser on Mr. Cho's son at some point, which I think they're probably leading up to. And that's what he's making a big deal about it. But the laser has zero effect on the accuracy or the deadliness of the firearm.
Right.
So
The
he
relevance.
keeps talking about it. Yeah.
correct.
The relevance, and also too, I had this discussion yesterday, I think, with Barrister. But as a quick side note, I was wondering, when you do a cross examination, it has to be within the scope of what the direct examination was. Now, Barrister said that he didn't have to do that, but it seems like, I know we do it in the state that I live in, but how he pulled that piece in, like based off of what you're saying on direct, to kind of make that nice and smooth effort to go forward. But I just wanted to know, do you have that too, Law? Are you allowed to do that? To just talk about whatever you want on cross, or do you have to keep it within the scope?
No, one of the biggest ways I'm able to get under the state's skin is outside the scope objection, because I keep my crosses very tight, and I intentionally bait the state into trying to expand on things and recorrect things.
Right,
But,
you're like, just open the door. Just open the door.
yeah, but I don't open the door. Then they try to go and clean up, and I'll object to outside the scope, and it's just to throw them off their game, really.
Love it. Love it.
The laser, you questioned the relevance of the laser because it doesn't impact accuracy. My question then would be, could we well, not we, but could the prosecution, not prosecution, sorry, could the other side use that as like use it as like a intent, use that as threat, use that as like something to, I guess, create the sense that this was not just like self-defense, or this was not just like in the heat of the moment, but it was something that you took the time to put a laser, or yeah, what's up?
Hold on. So the what they're talking about belonged to the person that was unalived, not Rick Cho himself. So
Sure.
he's being charged with the murder of this kid. I'm sorry. I think maybe
Yeah, I think I'm mixing it up. The sides up. But either way, whether it's the unalive person who has who has it or not, could that just be used as a sense of like there was intent, that there
So there,
was like. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, probably not intent. What I think there's two things that are possibly going on here.
Mm-hmm.
One is that they intend on getting, the defense intends on getting in at some point, that the reason why the self-defense was necessary is because somebody saw the red dot from the laser on Mr. Cho's son, which is why Mr. Cho needed to fire in self-defense. So I think, because in the openings, which we played yesterday, the defense attorney talked about the laser like 47 times. It was ridiculous, and if that's the case, I do like that, because you're consistently making the jury question, what does the laser have to do with anything? And then when you kind of drop the big reveal, you're like, aha, that's what the laser had to do. And it gives them this big sense of pride, the jurors, the big sense of pride that they made that connection. Or he's just using it to try to say that this kid was using a firearm that was exceptionally dangerous because he had all of these extra accessories on it that made it even more deadly. And
That's what I thought too. Yep.
I hope that's not the route, because if it is, it's a ridiculous waste of time, and it's factually inaccurate.
if that's where he's going with this, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Like, I don't personally own anything like that. I do okay without it, but like, fucking swear to God, like, if that's where this goes, I'm gonna be pissed.
That's
And
kind of where I was thinking he was going. Like, if you're talking about this laser, are you doing it to like create this story that this kid was like above and beyond, just like he picked up like, is this something to character? I guess go to the character of
to be clear, this is not any type of like special assassin equipment. I can
Right.
walk down to Academy and buy this shit right fucking now. Now, granted, he is underage. Somebody else bought that, but it's not like it's making you, like next level assassin mobster. No, it's
Well,
just a
yeah.
fucking flashlight with a beam on it that can help with accuracy if you actually know how to fucking use it in the first place.
And it's not like a putting a full auto switch on a Glock. That tangibly makes the firearm much more dangerous. This is just a light beam. It's a light. That's it.
Well, you've got to wonder too if the jury here, though, I mean, I don't know who the jury is, but that they would understand that. They would have that understanding as well. A basic understanding of weapons, do you think?
No,
Or can he just say whatever he wants and they're like, ooh, that's awful?
No,
Yeah.
I generally find that a lot of people are really fucking stupid about most things. Like, I even refer back because I'm like, maybe I'm mixing something up in my head, like, because most people, not super knowledgeable, or at least in my opinion. I don't know. Law, go ahead.
Yeah, no, they're not knowledgeable. But if you do have the one guy in the jury that is knowledgeable about this, he will talk about it for 20 minutes during deliberations about it. So
That's what
why
I thought.
Yeah,
We get
that's
an
why
alpha in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, like, I really, and not that I hope, because it's not good for the case, but the truth is the truth. I hope that this ends with testimony that there was a laser dot that swept the sun, and that's where the defense is getting with this. If he's just bloviating on this to try to hype up the dangerousness of the gun, it's fucking stupid, because it's wrong and it's a waste of time.
Correct. Exactly. Okay, sorry. I know we keep stopping through this, audience, but we're nerds, so we're going to nerd out. But anyway, we'll get back into this, see where we get.
All right, so we know Mr. Carter was standing there. Let me, you also, so you found the torch, you found the light, laser light, you found the bag. Did you, you knew that the folks had come down from the gas station down to that area, correct?
Yes, question again?
The people had come from the gas station down to the area where Mr. Carmichael Belton was, correct? From the gas station down.
The bystanders?
Pardon?
Bystanders?
I'm sorry?
What people?
The people that were involved. Mr. Chow, his son.
Yes, they came
Carmichael.
from the gas station to that same location, yes, sir.
And you had found the bag on the side off the road, correct?
In the drainage ditch, yes, sir.
Did you conduct any search on either side of the road for any other item that you were aware of? Or did you?
Briefly, just in between, making contact with witnesses and EMS personnel and fire personnel. And
were there woods in there or bushes on both sides of the road, correct?
Sure.
All right. And are you aware of whether or not a search was made of both sides of the road to see if there were any objects that seemed out of place?
Not that I can recall.
There were some people that came to the scene that were, in one way or another, were witnesses, supposedly witnesses, correct?
Correct.
And did you interview any of them to find out exactly where they were standing to determine whether or not they could observe what they were saying?
I talked to them briefly, but investigations were there. Investigators.
And that's what I'm trying to decide who's doing what, but that's not something you did.
I mean, I can if I'm the only one on scene. But
pardon?
I can if I'm the only one on scene. But due to having other personnel there.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. There were other people there. You did not do that.
Correct.
Let me ask you, this young man, Mr. Carmichael Belton, was 14 years of age. Is it legal for him to have a pistol?
It's not legal for him. For a juvenile, no.
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
Was it legal for him to enter a store that's marked with no weapons and may enter?
I don't know if it was posted.
Pardon?
I don't know if it was posted, but no, it's not
If
legal.
it was.
No, it's not legal.
It's not legal, correct?
I don't hear this prosecution objecting enough. Like, there's some wild shit this man is saying.
Can you explain that objection, Law?
Look what you did, Law. You made them ask more questions.
Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good.
So officers are allowed to testify to their personal knowledge. So that's when you're asking, is it legal for them to do this? You could always object because they're not experts on the law. Like, for example, there might be some provisions, like the Kyle Rittenhouse, where some types of firearms are allowed to be carried by people under 18 under certain circumstances, generally not a handgun. Now, you can ask him, officer, are you aware of the legality of him carrying a firearm? That would be a way to try to get the same answer without asking it. But you can't ask a lay person whether something is legal or not.
And it is objection calls for
a legal conclusion.
A legal conclusion. Okay, thank you.
And there's been quite a few objections that could have been made throughout this. There's been tons of speculative questions, so there'd be a objection for speculation there. Now, objections are sometimes a strategy game. If you use them pedantically, you just end up pissing off the jury and making them roll their eyes. Like, for example, I was in two trials last week, but my second trial, it's with one of the state's attorneys who always asks leading questions. But I know that if I objected to them, all the judge would ask her to do is rephrase, and she would rephrase it and get the same answer anyway. And then if I did it every single time, the jury's just going to think that I'm being overly pedantic. So I would do it a couple of times, only on things that I felt like she was leading the officer to an answer that the officer may not have given otherwise. But beyond that, like sometimes there is some strategy to just letting it ride because it's not substantive and you don't want to upset the jury.
I've
Would you
done some
suggest?
sidebars too, sidebars, but you don't want to use those too much. And I found that the jury, if you do anything like that, like sidebar or whatever, the jury, like their eyes just get really big. They're like, "Ooh, what's going on? Is this really important or not?" So you can kind of finagle that just a little bit, but don't get them mad at you.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what
be
I
a
was about
nosy
to
bitch.
ask, is if you could just do a sidebar instead, or at least after a certain point and be like, Your Honor, like, she can't keep asking leading questions. That's not, you know.
Well, I think you can, but you don't want to misuse it, right? And we're
Okay.
still trying to get through a trial. So we still have all the witnesses, all the evidence and such. And so if we're like sidebarring it every half an hour, whoo, that's a lot. That would be too
To
much.
Well, what I
to be so clear, we're about 5 hours in. This is 3 days worth of trial, and we've already had 2 breaks and multiple sidebars. Multiple. Like
yeah.
there's been at least 3 I've had to fast forward through so far.
Is there any motion for, let's say, like the prosecution, or as like a criminal defense attorney, if the prosecution is just like not having good courtroom like behavior by like constantly asking leading questions or constantly doing this, like, is there any motion that like could be done that I'm unaware of that could, I guess, help the criminal defense side?
Generally you would probably do it on the record outside of the presence of the jury and just make a record of it that the state's repeatedly engaging in improper questioning. But if you feel like the questioning is affecting your case, you should always object because that's how you preserve it for appeal.
Yeah, keep the error.
Yeah. So if you feel like that, that the state's engaging in behavior that's going to tangibly affect the outcome of the case, then always object because if you don't object, you can't preserve it for appeal. I'm talking about the things that are just, really not substantive for example, the prosecution asks, and then you went and got the PBT out of your vehicle. Instead of just saying, well, what happened next? That really doesn't, there's no, that is a leading question. But if I object to it, all she's going to ask is what happened next. And then the officer is going to say, I got the PBT out of my vehicle. So it's just a strategy thing, or if it's not tangibly affecting your case or your defense, you can just kind of let it ride.
Maybe it's just my partiality to like appellate level work and things like that. I'm like fucking object whenever, like if I were on a jury and you objected 100 times, I wouldn't be given any fucks because I'm like, you got to do it. Like, what if this would fuck up your case? And I see Law's point. Like, there are some things that just you don't need to. Like, if they're gonna get the same answer just because they rephrased, a few words in a sentence, like I understand that. But like, maybe it's because my fondness of appeals. I'm like, fucking do it. Just do it. Just get it in there so that way, if something fucks up, you have somewhere to go. But
True. But
partiality. That's a
the judicial
partiality.
economy though is so important. I've been on a case where as a prosecutor, where the defense counsel was talking to the jury, just doing an opening to talk to the jury, was like, "Hey, so this is what my case is about." And he kept saying this word. You probably heard me tell you this story a million times, but he kept saying, like, because it was a big fight and people like broke bones. And he was like, "Oh, so," and then that's when the melee occurred, right? And the judge was like, "I'm sorry, counsel, what was that?" And the whole jury
A
was there.
melee?
We were all there. Well, he was like melee. And the judge is like, "I think you mean melee." But that's one of those moments where like we had the mispronunciation of a word, and that's really important. But we had our jury, we had everything ready to go. And the judge is like, "Yeah, let's just take care of this now. It's not, that big of a deal. It's on the record," and then we move forward.
Yeah, that's fair. I gotcha. Okay, let's try to get through this. Sorry, we're just nerding so hard. I fucking love it. Hold on, guys.
Correct. So it's a criminal offense.
Correct.
And it would be a criminal offense for him to possess that particular weapon as well.
It'd be a weapons law violation, correct?
But attorney, on the other side, you were able to determine that Mr. Chow had a concealed weapon permit, correct?
When he showed me, that is correct.
And that he had it when you saw him. He had it in his holster, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we talked about the collection of evidence. And did you collect any other items of evidence at that point?
No, besides what we marked with a AA marker and AB marker, the backpack and the firearm.
And you marked those with those markers, and I think one of the markers was a notebook that you put down
Yes,
just
sir.
to make sure you knew exactly where it was?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to go through, I'm just going to hit some points that I'd like to make, and if you permit me one time to read it a little bit. I'm not going to ask you some questions I've already asked you, but the backpack, do you remember anything that was in the backpack? Did you make an inventory of anything in the backpack?
No, like I said, miscellaneous documents, like two brushes.
Okay. But you didn't find any money in the backpack?
Not that I can recall, no.
Were you the one that got the 2 cell phones and the shoe? Or was that something you picked up or somebody else picked up?
If I'm not mistaken, maybe crime scene. I'm not sure though.
Okay, that's fine. You would agree that you did not you didn't conduct a full interview like you would want to of Mr. Chow, correct? There was just a couple moments that you spoke to him, and you had to go walk somewhere else.
I just asked him what happened.
Pardon?
Objection, compound.
A brief conversation.
Brief conversation,
And it
correct.
wasn't really no follow.
Explain that objection.
That was 3 questions in 1 question. So you
Oh,
only
okay.
get to ask
I was
one
like,
at a
hold
time.
Hold on. You just said compound, so I was like, hold on, what are we talking about here?
I wish we could do that for interrogatories. But
Hey,
that
you,
is the
you only
life
get
of it.
you only get 25. Come on.
Right. And so let me answer 10 of your questions as question 1.
What if any do you have, and if so, explain each one.
Starting back from like 2022.
Lord Jesus, y'all. Yeah, that was 3 questions in 1. So agreed. I was just like, hold on, let's get it explained real quick. Okay. Let's keep going.
Questions, correct?
Not for me, no.
Excuse me 1 minute.
I'm gonna give him a sec, but if it takes forever, we'll fast forward.
It's like where the organizational part of an attorney really needs to be right here.
I just want to know why the defense attorney looks like Doc from Back to the Future.
I don't know. They both seem like really old.
Yeah.
Great Scott.
Great Scott.
As I understand it, you were in the middle of it or talking to
I'm
him,
allowed
and
to
you
name
were
it Scott.
not able to finish an interview with him, correct?
Correct. That was where Mr. Carter took over.
Thank you.
Where you're at. Okay, let me testify.
Oh, we're resting.
These laser sights help in accuracy.
Back to the prosecutor now.
It could help with accuracy. You see it more in a rifle than you do a pistol.
Did you have any reason to believe Cyrus used the laser inside of the shell station?
No.
Did you have any reason to believe he brandished the gun inside the shell station?
No.
Did you have any reason to believe
That's not proper, is it, right? I didn't ask anything about that.
Ooh.
He was asking about the laser
Feisty.
and what they're used for and aiming weapons, right? Wasn't that the question you were asking?
That wasn't a proper objection
Had any
either.
reason to believe that he brandished the weapon and used the laser in the parking lot of the Shell gas station?
No, sir. I have no reason to believe that.
Okay. Is any of that caught on video that you're aware of?
It didn't seem
Yeah, he
like it was
brandished
outside the scope to me, but
It's not redirect.
Or flashed a laser at any point?
I know that.
I was sustaining that.
All right. You were asked about 14-year-olds can't legally carry guns, and you said, that's correct, I cannot.
Yeah, that's correct. I legally cannot.
And it's a criminal offense.
It is.
Concealed weapons permit users have to follow the laws too, do they not?
If I'm not mistaken, yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, laws still apply to concealed weapons permit.
That is correct.
You were asked about money. Did you have reason to believe, or to your knowledge, did people move some evidence around before you guys got there?
Yes.
Okay. I think in your body camera, Mr. Chow, says he moved
The firearm,
the
correct.
firearm. Okay. How did the shoe, Cyrus Carmack Belton's shoe, and how did his 2 cell phones get inside the convenience store?
Someone had to move them.
Somebody moved them there?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So you didn't find
Objection,
anybody
speculation?
You were told by Chow that they had moved.
I don't think that's speculation. That's common sense. If they were there and they're now at another place, they would have had to been moved. It would be speculation, I think, if he asked who moved them. But I don't think it's necessarily speculation to like if this is here and now it's here, that somebody moved them.
I think
Maybe,
you're
am I
speculating
right?
right now. I object to you, Cass, and your speculation.
No, I think that's good reasoning. You're asking for how would you're not asking a specific of is it who could have moved them, or could this person have moved them, or could that person have moved them? That would be speculation. You're just asking that if they were here and then they're here, somebody moved them, right? That's just a statement of fact. It's not really causes. The officer doesn't need to speculate. That's just kind of reps ipsa loquitur.
God damn it, Davo, in these comments, Cat's objection live Friday at 3. I swear to God, Davo, I cannot with you.
Did you say race ipsa loquitur?
I did.
Oh, man. Wow. Fancy. All right.
It's the thing speaks for itself.
I was about
Yep,
to say,
yep,
that's
yep.
the thing speaks for itself, correct? Sorry,
That's
my
right.
Latin is not amazing, but I know a few things.
Yep. If you have a sack of flour fall on you from a second story of a flour factory and it hurts you,
I thought it was a piano.
I thought the case was a flour. Maybe it is a piano. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. If you think
Well,
it's
a
flour, I'm
piano-
going to go with that.
A piano from a second story feels like it would fucking really hurt you. Now, the flower, that maybe calls for speculation, but
Yeah,
it's a piano.
The whole idea of it. I mean, I'm going off topic here, but the term comes from things that are so obvious that you don't need to prove its causation. In the case I'm thinking of, I thought it was a flower. It could be a piano. Maybe it's a brick. Who knows? But if you're walking by a flower factory, and then all of a sudden you get hit by a sack of flour that falls from the top story, you don't need to prove that the flour factory acted negligently, because obviously sacks of flour shouldn't be falling from a flour factory.
Exactly.
Seems wasteful.
Real quick. I just have this book here that I think is really good if you're looking for those objections and who's objecting and why they're objecting. This is really good. I have, of course, the regular rules of evidence, but these are the rules of evidence for trial practice, and they take you through every single objection and what it means. So if you're interested in that, it is available, just FYI.
I'm looking it up right now. Thank you so much, Attorney Dye. And thank you, Law, for explaining that, because I would be in court being like, objection. You can't say that.
Yeah, well, which is essentially just what the defense just did. That's not proper cross. Like,
right.
That's not a proper objection.
I got your objection right here, buddy.
Defense
Jen,
was out there baiting, just like a law. He's just setting them up.
masturbator. Jen, if there's also a quick sheet that's available on Amazon that has it's like a laminated, 4-page, 2 pages each side of all of really quick reference to the trial rules of evidence.
Ooh, the bar charts.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yep.
Sweet.
I just work here, so yeah. Okay.
Thank you both, by the way.
We'll get back into this.
Moved evidence around.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have.
All right, you can step down, Deputy. Thank you.
John.
Mr. Disapproach. Yes, sir. Hang tight.
Another sidebar. But just so you know, it's Byrne v. Bodle. A barrel of flour fell from a warehouse window and injured a pedestrian. This is from 1863.
Okay.
The plaintiff could not prove exactly how the barrel fell. The court held that the accident itself could permit an inference of negligence because barrels do not ordinarily fall out of warehouse windows, absent somebody's negligence.
Right. Oh, we love that for res ipsa loquitur. I think I was thinking of an exam where in the exam I had written out that it was a piano. So that does sound better that it's a bag of flour.
Yeah, that sounds like a bar prep question where they're switching out the item and testing the logic.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like if a piano fell on me, I'm gonna be seriously injured, if not unalived. We're talking if it falls on me, that seems like brain trauma minimum.
Well,
That's a wig on that attorney, isn't it?
It has to be. It has to be.
Which
I've been
one?
looking.
Oh.
I'm concerned.
Oh, that's totally a tube. Yeah, for sure. You can even see the line on it. You can see the line right up here. Yeah, that's a wig.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious.
What's up, Davo?
I only came up here for a second. So I just have to ask, if you had to choose between the two, would you rather be the attorney with no gray hair but balding? Or would you rather have the wannabe Beach Boy haircut but full gray?
You still won't.
Hair is better than no hair, regardless of the color.
Can I just jump off a building? I mean, right?
No, not available in this.
Oh, it's too dark. Sorry, everybody. It's late. I'm get the movies out, people.
Just do it in a flour barrel. You're fine.
Well, I have a son with alopecia, so I'm the hair's just slowing you down, Pookie. But
oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would not like to have my hair. But there's some great wigs you can buy. I'm just saying, there's some cooler ones.
It's not necessarily the alopecia because at that point, you kind of lose kind of all your hair versus you still are just kind of chasing that dream of you have the side, but you still have the dome on top type shit. That's just, you're kind of reaching,
stepdad has
bro.
that, and I'm just bro, just let it ride.
I'm waiting for the government to take over my right to decide what my hair is going to look like.
They'll never catch me. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I'll get the car.
Before I drop, Attorney Dye, if the liberals are taking over, it will be required to be blue, just so we're clear.
Required what? I don't know. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh, the liberal takeover will require you to dye it blue.
Oh.
Blue or some sort of fun color.
Oh, geez. Well, how are they going to see that when I'm wearing my tinfoil hat?
Amen.
Well, see, it kind of doubles now at that point because like it'll intensify the blue with the tinfoil, so like it kind of like pans out.
I can't take you seriously. I mean, I know you're talking to me, Davo, but all I see is like the orange guy's little, pickle, right? The twig and berries, where she was like, it's like Toad from the Mario. That's all I can see right now. I'm unable to comprehend anything else that you're saying.
He's in my group chat. We commonly don't take Davo seriously unless he's like, this is serious shit. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen now.
I mean,
love
no
you, Davo.
disrespect, but it's like a little ding dong. You know what I'm saying?
You should not take me seriously until I say I'm being serious.
That's true. I've learned this. We've been friends for a couple of years now, and I've learned, like, unless he's like, I'm fucking serious, just don't take him seriously. You're good.
It's just kind of weird because that toadstool's like mouth is really wide open, and so I'm like, what's happening? I'm just feeling a little bit uncertain.
He's in the middle of an earthquake.
Okay. All right. We're going to get back into this now, Davo. I love you so much. Thank you for coming up and asking us hair questions. We're happy to answer those. But you're welcome to stay. Anyway, let's get back into this.
Mr. English still under subpoena?
We do, Your Honor, but I'm not going to leave the courtroom. We will contact him. I think we'll be either the one sitting around. It's okay if we contact him when we do testify. Does that work? No. Okay, then he's under subpoena.
So you're still subject to the subpoena, but you can leave today.
I think he said yes before. Oh, yeah, I thought he said that would work. Let y'all clear it up before you.
Sorry, just like just before they're going to pull another witness, so just a sec.
I'm worried about Stormy Daniels. Can I just put that out there? And the other woman that wrote the book, what was her name? Like
Eugene Carroll?
No, Stormy Daniels. She was the adult film star, right?
Right.
I'm worried because he's going after people he doesn't like.
True. He's going after Eugene.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
sad.
exactly.
All right, you're released from your subpoena. Thanks for being with y'all.
Your Honor, if possible, do anything that I can take if we can make this court
Which she has a case, by the way, for, I feel like she has a case to sue for, what is it when they like personally go after you?
Vindictive prosecution?
Yes.
Persecution. It's the Crusades.
We told them we're not going to talk. That's the best.
Sorry, I'm trying to get it like right, but I'm on YouTube, so it kind of sucks.
Thank you, Mr. Tobin. Go next witness.
His name was Dustin Martin.
She's Dustin Martin.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Proceed to the witness stand and state your full name for the record.
Justin Martin.
Mr. Martin, where do you work?
Defense for the solicitor's office.
And what is your job there?
I am a body cam and video analyst.
How long have you done this job?
Almost 10 years.
What are some of the duties that you have as your role as a body camera and video analyst?
I help gather and distribute digital evidence for our office to receive from law enforcement and then to distribute to defense attorneys. I assist with technical issues that might occur with that digital evidence, specifically with video, surveillance video, body-worn camera videos that might have compatibility issues, and I help the court in achieving redactions to evidence and creating demonstrative pieces of evidence to be entered into court for court proceedings.
In fact, did you do that in some of the videos in this trial?
That is correct.
So in your role, do solicitors and sometimes, I guess, defense attorneys come to you and commonly ask you for your help in troubleshooting or accessing evidence?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And is it common for solicitors to ask you to put together PowerPoints and other presentations of digital evidence associated with the case?
Yes, ma'am.
And sometimes it's one of the purposes of your PowerPoint presentations to condense hours of video footage into shorter, more easily viewable clips.
Yes, we very commonly receive a large amount of video as part of cases. Some of the video that we might receive may be only a very small portion of what we actually receive would be pertaining to the case.
Okay. And in this case, we asked to create a PowerPoint containing shorter video clips derived from some of the video surveillance from the Shell gas.
You know, maybe they could edit out where the officers are taking a dump on camera. That's all I'm saying.
What? Wait, what?
Why are you doing this to me?
Love you.
What just happened here? I was eating my banana pudding.
Sorry, Tom.
What
Mom,
they
would you
just
like to tell your
No,
story?
you don't have to. You don't have to. I can live, happily with my banana pudding here.
Well, one of the cases I got body camera from the state in their obligation to turn over all discovery, turned over body camera footage of an officer who forgot to turn off his body camera while he was using the restroom.
Oh my goodness.
What was I found particularly disturbing more than anything else is he used exactly 3 squares each
Oh my
time,
God.
folded them over, and then would wipe. And then when it came time to wash his hands, literally just ran his hands under the water.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
And
That's unacceptable.
and later was convicted for CSM material. So you can connect those dots however you'd like.
I'm just saying, like, there's a large portion of people on TikTok that are men that they don't clean their buttholes good. And I've had to see those, like, not their stuff, but I've had to hear those videos. That's disgusting. Wash your ass, men. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We'll get back into this.
How come every live I've been on in the last week, somebody's been talking about some balls every single time and some holes? It's like, dudes.
Because you visit Cass's lives.
Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that sounds accurate. Okay, we'll get back into it.
Gas station?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is the entity that digital evidence in cases typically come from?
Our largest law enforcement agency that we prosecute cases for would be Richland County Sheriff's Department.
Okay. And is that the agency investigating this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is there some type of database that law enforcement uses to share the evidence with the solicitor's office and you share with the defense attorneys?
That is correct. We most of our law enforcement agencies utilize evidence.com and some cloud-based storage and delivery system that they can upload not only their body-worn camera or dash video or interviews up to, but also other elements of items of evidence that might be associated with a case, like surveillance or phone dumps, documents, or whatever other material that might be necessary.
Okay. And were the videos that you used to create the video clips in your PowerPoint slides, came from the store surveillance videos in this case?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And regarding the store surveillance in this case, were there about 22 store surveillance videos associated with this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And was the duration of some of that footage on those videos up to about 2 hours long?
Yes. Every video file had a different duration. Some of them were very long. Some of them were 30 minutes. Some of them were over 2 hours.
Okay. Do some of the videos have audio?
Yes.
And some of them don't?
That's correct.
And as part of your role as a video analyst, do you commonly come across digital evidence, especially like videos, that require unique and specific players to access it?
Yes, it's not uncommon for surveillance video systems to use proprietary video codecs that are required in which to review those videos after the fact.
Okay, and I guess is the MP4 format the most common way to play a video?
An MP4 is the most common in these days.
Where are they going with
video
this? I'm
file
sorry.
type
Why
that
do
you
we
would
need the
find
evidence
in,
tech up here?
Everyday life on YouTube is most
Probably laying
MP4s,
foundation
their
for the
settings are-
surveillance video from the store.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes
Although
sense.
an interesting side note would be he would be the one you'd go to if you wanted to make up some evidence.
That's true. If you wanted some selective redactions or conveniently placed mutes, he's the guy.
That's right.
That's crazy. I don't want to think about people doing that. That hurts my heart. But yes. Okay. We'll get back into it.
Your phone that can create MP4s. It's ubiquitous. It's widespread. MP4s are a very common video file type.
Were some of the videos in this case saved as a BVR file?
That is correct.
And can the average MP4 video player play a BVR file?
A BVR file is a proprietary video file that needs a specific program to open.
And is it a free program?
No.
Okay, what's it called?
Blue Iris, I believe.
Okay, so you have to purchase that software to play the video.
There is a free trial, but yes, it is a limited trial. You must purchase that software to have access to those videos long term.
John, may we approach?
Sure.
So my guess is that this is the guy who had to convert the videos from whatever the store format came from into what's being viewed, and they need him to testify to the process and that it fairly and accurately represents the original video file.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, gotcha. Because I was like, why are we at? But that makes sense.
My guess is that the defendant is the one who turned the camera footage over to law enforcement, and he's probably not going to testify. So if he doesn't testify, they have to get it in through somebody else.
Okay, so
Right.
I gotcha.
did you convert some of those BVR format videos to an MP4?
Yes, I use the Blue Iris software that has a limited term to convert it into an MP4 so that we could utilize it in the courtroom.
Okay.
The son testifies, but I don't know if he does. I'm not seeing anything saying that he
I'm
did.
going to show you what's the hardest thing exhibit number 4. Do you recognize what's on the CD?
Yes.
Did you make that CD?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is on this?
It is a PowerPoint presentation that has video clips of the videos from the video system within the store, more or less clips that just show the action of what occurred in the store as the victim walks in and as the victim leaves, the actions that occurred within the store there. Clips that were removed from the full files of the videos that were received from Richland County Sheriff's Department.
At this point, the state requests to enter number 4 into evidence.
I think it is admitted, we certainly conceded that surveillance obtained from our business was admissible insofar as with the reservations.
Can you speak up one more?
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm a little hoarse. We earlier agreed, Your Honor, to the admissibility, or at least business record admissibility, subject to any further objection. I am not yet
I
clear
hate when it gets sloppy like
what
this.
gentleman means by PowerPoint, whether there is editorializing. He is not an expert, as I understand it. He is an investigator who was asked to put video surveillance obtained from our store together. If it is simply video surveillance tagged one after the other in some fashion, I don't know that I have an objection. If it has editorial commentary, whether it's typewritten on the screen or otherwise, I'm just not sure what we got here. That's my problem.
We'll be entering into the Rule 1006. It's just a large amount of videos condensed in different video clips.
Commentary or anything of that nature.
The only thing that we have is slide numbers and like an alphanumerical, just like a little thing on the bottom so that we know what slide is whatever. These are all from the surveillance.
Did they send the jury out again?
The outcome say 3.
They must have.
Yeah, this wouldn't be a
Yeah. Well, it's
jury
just-
presence argument.
I'm not
403.
hearing it, so I'm like, what the hell?
One second.
Oh, look, he finally got off his chair.
Well, hold on a second. State's 3 is already in the evidence, just wasn't published, so it doesn't even need to be
Well,
on.
we're already in it again.
Go ahead.
We'll hear the outcome.
Now, in some instances, are you asked to edit videos?
Yes, ma'am.
And when we say edit, you didn't change or alter any of the people's actions or the content.
Pause
or
it real
anything,
quick.
Any audio of these videos, did you?
Go ahead.
So they must have some way of of turning things off for the jury, because the jury didn't come back in and now they're back on the record with Cross. So maybe the jurors have like headphones that they put on or something, but because there's no way that argument was happening in front of the jury. But I didn't see them bring the jury back in.
I didn't either. I mean, that'd be a huge mistrial if you're letting this kind of information out to the jury. So, I mean, I don't know. What town is this? Is this Atlanta?
This is South Carolina.
South Carolina.
It's South Carolina versus Rick Chow. They said the county earlier, but I can't remember which county it was.
Oh, that's fine. I was just thinking if it's a smaller kind of a community, like they may have some reasons, but it's weird that the jury's not there. I mean, if they don't have accountability to come back in later, right?
Well, this has been twice that like I haven't heard the, judge dismiss the jury. So I'm not like, that's where I'm going to be like, okay, well, let me fast forward through this part. But like, I'm like, what? Maybe to Law's point, maybe they have headphones. I'm not sure. I don't know what's happening.
Or the jury's like in some kind of a room or something that they can turn off the microphones or something like that. I mean, but for 100% certain, those arguments about the admissibility of evidence can't happen in front of the jury. So something's going on where the jury is somehow very quickly being excluded from the courtroom conversation.
Shelly, Court TV even plays through the lunch breaks, so I'm pretty sure that they didn't. I mean, it's possible, but they just live stream it through the entire thing. I mean, maybe it's coming from the courtroom. I don't know South Carolina's, how they do their courts and stuff, but yeah, no, I don't think they edit it because I have to skip through their breaks and stuff like that. So
it is weird though to see him testifying and her asking questions without a jury there. Like that is kind of just innately weird.
Unless it's like a voir dire situation where they're trying to lay foundation outside of the presence of the jury before bringing them back in.
Mm-hmm. True. Good point.
Interesting. All right. Well, let's get back into it.
No, I typically all I will do is stretch out video to make it so that it's a little easier to see. By that I mean to make the frame or the action on screen take up more space on the display. I might make a clip. When you say edit, like that includes just taking a piece of the video out of the larger video to show a clip of it, so that we're not watching a full 2-hour video where there's only maybe 5 seconds of action on that video. That is correct. I'm not changing the scenario or adjusting people's location within the frame, specifically just condensing some of the material that was provided.
Okay, and can you edit a video to slow it down, speed it up, and zoom into certain parts?
That's right, yes. Oftentimes we'll slow down video to allow the action to spread out over more time, to give the viewer a little bit more time to see what's going on. The same goes for when you say zoom in, like stretching it out so that if, say, what we're trying to see is just taking up a very small piece of the video up on the top right corner or something like that, we'll just expand that up so that it takes up more space on the display, so what's occurring there in that corner is just a little easier for people to see.
Okay, and can you like amplify audio and volume and stuff like that?
Yes, when I adjust audio, I adjust the gain, which is the baseline level of the audio, so it raises the volume of all of the audio that was captured equally. I don't go in and highlight specific areas of audio to gain, to bring the volume level up. I gain the entire audio track so that it all lifts up.
Okay. And can you also combine, or I guess stitch footage from different camera angles in different videos into a continuous sequence?
Yeah, so in many cases we'll have video files that are just a specific camera location, but if there's action occurring where there's 4 or 5 cameras pointing at that action, I can cut between the different camera angles to follow the action as it moves around within a location, within a store, wherever the video is taking place.
And did you do those types of editing in the PowerPoint that you created?
Yes, ma'am.
And So you said your presentation's in a PowerPoint format, so you can actually like play the video on each slide in the PowerPoint?
Yes, each slide is a different clip of video that was lifted from the material provided from the surveillance systems within the Shell store.
And did you add like slide numbers to the top right just to kind of so you can see what slide is what?
Yes, keep track of it.
And did you add, I'm sorry.
No.
Did you add like an alphanumeric to like A3 on the bottom just so like you'll, just as an organization tool for you?
Yeah, so there's a folder that has the clips labeled, and so as an organizational tool, there's also a label on each slide that shows what the file name was of the clip that was pulled.
Okay. And when you're creating PowerPoints for a case, sometimes do the solicitors provide you with like some basic background information on the case, like time certain things happen or like who certain people in the video are?
Yes.
Okay. And does that help you kind of understand what you're looking for when you're making these videos?
Yes, especially in cases that have a voluminous amount of video, having a time frame of when the action occurs or an idea of what a suspect or a victim or somebody that is pertinent to the case can be extremely helpful.
And in this case, were you given information that the shooting happened around 8:04 p.m. and the victim entered the store a few minutes before that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the videos, when you watch them and review them, did you see timestamps on them?
Yes.
Okay. And where did those timestamps come from?
Typically, there's a lot of surveillance systems will burn into the image of the video time code and a date that is being fed to that file from the recording system of the surveillance video system. So many people will have, maybe you'll have a 4-camera system in your own home, and it'll plug into a little box, a DVR, just like some cable companies will have, where you can record videos at your home. But it will take the video feed from the cameras in different locations. It'll bring it into the DVR, and the DVR will place on the image of the video a date and a time based on what that box thinks the date and time is.
Okay. So when you were reviewing these videos, did you notice that different video angles had different timestamps?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is that common to see? Or
Yes.
is it uncommon to see, rather?
In the same location, it's not that common. Typically, a business would or a location would use the same system, and then that system would have the same date and time stamped into all of the videos. But in this case, there seems like there was multiple DVRs or different systems that were imprinting the date and time onto those video files.
Okay. And when you were reviewing these videos, were there some videos that like looked like it jumped into time?
Yes.
Okay. And what could be the reason for that?
So there's multiple reasons. If it's a same camera and you see a jump in time, that typically is because there is a motion sensor activation on that camera. So the camera will only record when it detects motion within a specific zone. Oftentimes those are customizable, and if you have a camera that's kind of facing the door of a business, it might make it so that if there's motion near the door, that the camera turns on and starts recording. So if there's no activity in a zone that's being monitored for motion, the camera can disengage and not record video, often to help save space and to focus on whenever there was activity in that area.
Okay. And kind of going back to the timestamps with incorrect
Law,
times.
I need you to work with this motherfucker on brevity.
Have you looked at other types of evidence in the case, like maybe body-worn camera times or maybe times on 911 calls to kind of get an idea of what the correct time is?
Yes. Body cams are typically plugged in at the end of the night. They recharge, and if there's a discrepancy with the timing on the device that it imprints on that video, it will adjust its clock so that it is accurate again. The same goes, 911 center has networked in their system, so whenever a 911 call occurs, it is always up to date with the accurate time. So surveillance video is typically more problematic about having an accurate date and time because those systems can lose power, and when they begin to receive power again, it does not always account for the time that has lapsed when it was without power. And if the administrator of that device doesn't go in and reset it every time that occurs, you start seeing discrepancies in the time that is being stamped into the video and what the actual time of that video being recorded actually is.
No further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. You speak with great authority. You had formal training in editing?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
I have a 2-year degree from York Technical College in video production.
Made movies?
I have made several local commercials many, many years ago, and I've been content creator for the County of Richland for their public information channel and service.
You were asked to take surveillance video. You know how many hours of surveillance video? This was video that came from where? What's your understanding?
As far as within the Shell station, in this case specifically?
Whatever you're about to play for us is comprised of, I understood it to be surveillance camera videos. Is that close to it?
Yes, sir.
So it's not body camera footage.
That's correct.
And where is your understanding that surveillance footage came from?
7441 Park Lane Road.
The store, the Chow's. And you said that you had the participation of attorneys, some of these attorneys in the editing decisions and the construction of this PowerPoint you call it?
Yes, sir.
You said that there were a lack of synchronization in camera footage and so forth?
Yes, there was timestamps that were not consistent with the continuity of what was happening inside of it.
Okay, but here's my fucking question. Was the totality of the video turned over to the defense on discovery? That's like, where are we going here? Because I'm starting to get really agitated, and these are a bunch of like really fucking stupid questions.
I'm very curious where this is going to land.
Okay, thank you. So I'm not crazy. Got it.
Video. So you made arbitrary decisions in the construction of this presentation because the cameras are not in sync. You made decisions, arbitrary decisions about what fit together.
I think arbitrary would be a strong word. There is continuity that occurs in a space. If somebody walks in and they're wearing a red shirt or a yellow jacket and they come in from a door, even if there is a discrepancy in the time, from another angle, if that same person is coming in wearing the same clothes, even if the time is different, they perform the same actions, and then 30 seconds later, another person comes in. You start to build continuity in between the files because those actions and those people in those specific circumstances don't present again in any other time.
But your decisions and the advice you got from the prosecutors, you and the prosecutors chose what to emphasize in this PowerPoint, which is a distillation of the whole, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, as a Gamecock fan, I guess you would be able to take the films from the game we lose on Saturday night and make the Gamecocks look like winners on Sunday morning?
I don't think that's possible.
I don't have anything else, Your Honor. Clearly not a Gamecock.
No, Your Honor.
You got down. Talk next week.
City Hall, Lori Parsons.
Okay, so I guess we have another witness coming after this. I didn't charge my computer and it's about to die, so I'm gonna be really real with y'all. Maybe we end here for tonight and we get back at this tomorrow.
I agree.
It's a good stopping point.
My phone's on fire, man.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I didn't charge my computer like a dummy, so and I don't want it to just crash on y'all. So maybe this is a good stopping point for us. We'll have another witness tomorrow, and I know what they look like, so I will start there. Any final thoughts from anybody?
I just want to thank everyone here for answering my questions. I just appreciate y'all.
I just work here, man. They got this. I'm just playing the videos and shit. Like, that's where I'm good. But thank you for being here, Jenna. I appreciate you. Attorney Di, Law, y'all got anything?
I don't think so. Wait. No, I already made my comment about the banana pudding, so that's done.
Fair.
And everything more, but always fun to hang out with you all.
Attorney Di, you need to bring us banana pudding next time. Tomorrow night, you're in charge
share.
of snacks. Yeah.
I might.
What's up, Law?
All I have is Race Ipsa Loquitur.
Stop it.
Cass, do you mind if I ask Law a question real quick? There was a question I needed to ask him on my live, but I was unable to. Is it? Okay. Real quick, Law, question. I was talking to Attorney Dye about this.
Oh, dear.
What is, from your knowledge, what is the legal definition of a person who gets rights under, like, what are the stipulations to be a person in the eyes of the law who gets American rights, like U.S. rights?
Yeah, I think the 14th Amendment's pretty clear that citizens get privileges and immunities. So the immunities that you get and the privileges that you get from being a citizen of a state are for citizens. And then all persons get rights to life, liberty, and due process of law. So the government can't take any actions against any of those three things, life, or I guess two things, life or liberty,